Hello and welcome to Friday's Granada Reports. We are live across the northwest.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on tonight's programme.
I will always tell it how it is. My constituents deserve no less. And I'll do it in my own little northern way.
From Stockport to Downing Street, now Angela Rayner quits as Deputy PM. We're live in Westminster with all of today's unfolding developments.
Also on tonight's Granada Reports, the youngsters helping each other after losing loved ones to suicide. Now the idea is growing to meet demand.
There are some eye-opening clashes as Women's Super League returns this weekend. We'll preview the brand new season. You know your
They're back with a new album and they're in the studio to share it with us. Bootle's Red Rum Club play here later and tell us all about dealing with fame.
Sometimes it is a pinch me moment, but you don't do it too often, you don't do it for too long because I think you might dwell on that.
Yeah. Stop moving. You start wearing sunglasses in interviews.
And as the sun sets on another working week, if you're looking towards the weekend, like Toby and Sooty are, quite literally, it's all going to be rather mixed. The details coming up shortly.
So first tonight, she was the working class champion from Stockport who aspired to become one of the country's most senior politicians. But tonight, Angela Rayner's political career is in tatters after the Deputy Prime Minister resigned after admitting failing to pay enough tax on a flat.
Yeah, there was mounting pressure on the Ashton-under-Lyne MP to quit, and today an ethics report found she breached the ministerial code. Well, the moves led to a full cabinet reshuffle, which means it's all change for some other prominent Labour MPs.
Our political correspondent, Leisha Manali, has been watching developments in Westminster for us. And Leisha, I guess this became inevitable for Miss Rayner.
Yeah, the clock was always ticking, really, because having been the attack dog whenever the Conservatives were facing allegations of tax scandals, she was always going to have to go if found to have broken the ministerial code. Nonetheless, I get the sense this was not the outcome that many here in Downing Street were hoping for, because her departure creates a bigger political headache than it cures. Let's have a look now at the rise and fall of Angela Rayner. She built her government platform on the promise of 1.5 million new homes. But it was her own living arrangements that put the writing on the wall for Angela Rayner. A tax row over this flat on the south coast saw the housing secretary evicted from her job. Today, telling the Prime Minister, "I deeply regret my decision to not seek additional specialist tax advice. I take full responsibility for this error. I would like to take this opportunity to repeat that it was never my intention to do anything other than pay the right amount." She added, "For a teenage mum from a council estate in Stockport to serve as the highest level of government has been the honour of my life." In an unusual move, the Prime Minister's reply was handwritten, accepting her resignation with real sadness. He said, "You have been a trusted colleague and a true friend for many years. You will remain a major figure in our party." In Ashton-under-Lyne this afternoon, her constituents' reactions were mixed.
We pay a lot of tax, don't we? And so I think it does.
It's wrong what
it
she's
just
done.
leaves a bad taste in your mouth, doesn't it? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, the tax that you have to pay, and then she
Yeah.
doesn't pay a tax, and
Yeah.
it's right that she's resigned.
I've always liked her, so I lean on the side of it being a mistake. Mistakes happen. I wasn't taught in school how to get a mortgage and stuff like that. Obviously, she's in charge of housing, so it's a bit different, but she's done good stuff for Ashton.
Time for her to go. She shouldn't have done what she did. Simple as.
She was wrongly led through naivety and trusting the people who are supposed to be there to help.
Angela Rayner.
The Ashton-under-Lyne MP first entered Parliament in 2015, never shy of the power of personality politics.
I will always tell it how it is. My constituents deserve no less. And I'll do it in my own little northern way.
In opposition, she quickly climbed the Labour ladder. For better and worse, the shadow Deputy Prime Minister was rarely in the shadows. At times controversial, never forgettable, as she squared up to the Conservatives.
It cannot get any worse than a bunch of scum, homophobic, racist, misogynistic.
That straight-talking reputation was front and centre of the general election victory that sent Angela Rayner right into the heart of power. A very different personality to the Prime Minister, but one of the most prominent faces of the new government, and until today, likely successor to Keir Starmer. Would Ashland Line's Angela Rayner make a good Prime Minister?
Well, I don't think me predicting who the next leader of the Labour Party should be is a good idea. But in terms of your challenge, do we need a female leader of the Labour Party? You bet we do. And it is fantastic to have Angela Rayner by my side as my Deputy Prime Minister.
Of course, no longer. The Prime Minister has lost his deputy and the woman who played a pivotal role in helping him through many bumpy moments in his first year in power. Now she's heading back to the backbenches, unsure if she'll ever walk down this street again.
So, Alicia, where does this leave the Prime Minister now?
Honestly, I think this is the most difficult moment of his premiership so far because Angela Rayner has been a huge asset to Keir Starmer. She has many of the qualities that some in the party feel that he lacks, and she's used them to get the government over the line in some really tricky votes over the last year, most recently that one on welfare reform. So it'll be really interesting to see how Downing Street does without her. We've got the budget coming up in November, undoubtedly some more difficult decisions ahead. So it really puts the pressure on both Number 10 and the upcoming party conference to try to get MPs back on side as quickly as possible. And another North West MP now has a key role to play in that. Stalybridge and Hyde's Jonathan Reynolds has been made Chief Whip in a cabinet reshuffle this afternoon. Another North West MP, Lucy Powell, has been sacked as Leader of the House of Commons. And of course, the other big question is, what does Angela Rayner do now? The letters between her and the Prime Minister were all warm and friendly this afternoon, but they haven't always been so close. And much of her star power really hasn't gone anywhere. If she decides that she disagrees with the direction the government is taking over the next few months, make no doubt about it, she can make life very difficult for this new cabinet.
Yeah, she certainly can. And Alicia, I guess this is presumably a bit of a gift for Reform UK, whose party conference kicked off today.
Undoubtedly. In fact, Nigel Farage actually moved his keynote speech to earlier in the day to try to capitalise on all that drama. But it is a big moment for them in and of itself. They're a party looking to capitalise on all the momentum over the last 12 months that has seen them take control of Lancashire County Council and win their first North West MP in the Runcorn and Helsby by-election.
This conference is really, really important for us at this point in time because in Parliament and across the country we are seen now as the actual party of opposition and people are looking at us with a view to whether or not we can form the next government.
Now that is big talk from a party that has just 4 MPs, but it sets the scene for a party conference season where the stakes are really high for everybody. The battle lines between left and right are being redrawn, and Labour is far from the only party trying to reshape its political future tonight.
Yeah, big day in politics today, lots of developments. Alicia, for now, many thanks indeed.
Let's take a look at some more of the day's news now. And a study's found up to 1 in 4 vapes confiscated in secondary schools in Lancashire contain the synthetic drug spice. Researchers analysed e-cigarettes and e-liquids collected from more than 100 schools across 7 English regions. They say spice is easy for young people to find on social media, yet tech companies say it's against their rules.
Unions are threatening mass disruption on a number of bus services later this month after thousands of workers have voted to strike over pay. 2,000 Unite members, including bus drivers on Manchester's B network, will walk out in a coordinated strike, while 500 stagecoach drivers in Preston, Chorley and Birkenhead are also set to strike over claims of pay disparities.
Meanwhile, trams have been halted on a major route in Greater Manchester as part of work replacing tracks on the line. No services are running between Piccadilly Gardens and Ashton-under-Lyne until Sunday. A replacement bus service is operating between the affected stops.
Liverpool John Lennon Airport has been named the second best in the UK in a survey of passengers. The airport, which has just recorded its busiest summer ever, beats all other large UK airports, coming second only to Exeter. Consumer Group Which said Manchester's terminals took up 3 of the bottom 4 places.
A Manchester art graduate has become the youngest ever winner of the John Moores Painting Prize. Judges described Ali Fallon's work. If you were certain, what would you do then, as having a deceptive simplicity? The 27-year-old said it was a very proud moment for him.
Well, next tonight, when an 8-year-old boy lost his dad to suicide, he was unable to find the right support. Alfie Furlong and his mum worked hard to create a place where families could connect with each other.
Yeah, and over the nearly 8 years since, Alfie's squad has welcomed scores of children with the chance to build friendships and confidence. And now the Liverpool-based charity is extending its reach to Bolton, where it's hoped they'll be able to help even more youngsters.
This report from our correspondent, Mel Barham.
I see them and I remember what it was like for me at 8, like scared, having just lost my dad. But then it's good knowing that they're going to be able to get help and they don't have to go through the same loneliness that I did.
Alfie, Josh and Liam are part of a club no one wants to join. A growing number of children whose parents have died from suicide. But there is actually a group they do want to be part of. One that's changing lives.
On the first week when I came, I was really nervous, but I really enjoyed it. And then I think just from there, made me make lots of friends.
Before I started coming here, I felt like I was the only person who felt the way I felt when I found out my dad died from suicide. Then I came and it helped me feel more comfortable and give me more confidence.
Up until now, Alfie's squad in Liverpool has been the only place of its kind in the country, offering peer support to children bereaved by suicide. The brainchild of Alfie, who lost his own dad when he was 8.
He wanted to meet other children in his situation because he felt isolated, he felt guilty. He thought it was his fault that his dad had chosen to take his own life, and it wasn't available. So Alfie decided to fundraise for it himself, and the fact that in 2 years we've gone from 6 children to over 50 and that people are willing to travel from up to 90 minutes away shows us that we need to be opening up in more areas.
And that's why they're now opening a second hub here in Bolton.
It's boss. I'm really proud of it. Having the group now and just being around like-minded individuals, it helps a lot. Before the group I didn't know anyone that had been in the same situation as me, and then look at where I am now. I've got like a whole new group of mates and sort of using my stories to try and help other people.
Just changed our life so much.
For Josh and his mum, who live in Bolton, help will now be on their doorstep. Help they found invaluable.
We've just changed completely. His confidence, mood swings and the conversations that come from it. And because I've been sat with other parents in that situation, it's given me the confidence to answer him back and give him the answers more comfortably than I ever could have done before Alfie's squad.
To now be opening a second group in Greater Manchester.
The new hub here at Bolton Lads and Girls Club will open next month, helping young lives that have already gone through so much. Mel Barham, ITV News, Bolton.
Oh, it's just absolutely fabulous work they're doing, isn't it? They must be so proud of those kids. And don't forget, there's a helpline on our website if you need it. That's at itv.com/Granada. Now to the band from Bootle, whose unique style of mariachi Mersey beats has won them fans across both sides of the pond.
Yes, Red Rum Club are approaching almost a decade in the game, but their signature style of indie Americana sounds as fresh as ever.
Yeah, this summer they played their biggest show to date, playing to 11,000 fans at Aintree Racecourse. And today they've released their new album, Book. Here's what you can expect.
On that bridge when it comes to it.
Well, in a moment, we'll hear a special performance of album track Wild here in our studio. Before that, I caught up with singer Fran Doran and guitarist Tom Williams to find out how much the city they call home influences their sound. Well, Francis and Tom, really good to see you. Welcome to the Granada Reports studio. Your local boys from Bootle, has that influenced the way you write your music?
Well, yeah, the Liverpool thing, I think, yeah. The last album was very much a Liverpool-based album, but yeah, it certainly has the heritage in Liverpool, in the Liverpool music scene's like the thing that we sort of always look up to and sort of aspire to be. The album's called Book. It's inspired by our trips to America. We're called Red Rum Club. There's links to the horse, and we've got a trumpet player in the band, so we wrote an album which is a little bit sort of, you know, cowboy themed. We haven't quite put the Stetsons on yet, but yeah,
Not yet.
Not yet. It could come out. We think it sounds a little bit different. We're pushing the boundaries of what people might imagine us to be like. So yeah.
Do you ever take a moment to pause and reflect on what you've achieved, what you're continuing to achieve?
I think it's hard. Sometimes I think we have to tell ourselves to do so, because like you get caught up with it a lot. You can't see the wood through the trees a lot of the time, but every time you take a step back and realise what you've done, you kind of have to pat yourself on the back, I think.
Yeah, even here, sat in front of like cameras and stuff, it's sometimes it is a pinch me moment, but you don't do it too often, you don't do it for too long, because I think you might dwell on that.
You stop moving. Yeah.
Stop moving. Yeah.
You start wearing sunglasses in interviews.
And you formed in 2016, and my understanding is that you hadn't met each other up until you got into the recording studio for the first time. Just talk to us a little bit what that moment was like.
We formed Rum Club in 2016, but we were all friends before that, and we were playing in different formations and stuff. And then, one day we were just like, right, let's start writing. We were a covers band really, and then we were like, right, let's start writing some music and get in the studio and start recording. And then it just sort of went from there. The first recording was great, the first practice was great, and it just blossomed, and we carried on doing it.
You're always playing big gigs in Liverpool. You're really clearly very proud of your Liverpool identity. How much does that influence your music? How much does that continue to influence you? And do you think that's contributed to the success that you have and you're continuing to have?
Yeah, I think it drives us. We're 4 albums in now, 5th about to come out, and we sort of look at the musical history of the city, the Northwest as well as Liverpool, but the musical history of the city drives us to sort of create a bit of a legacy, to be up there, to be chasing, not quite the Beatles, because I don't think anyone will ever catch them, but the other bands from the Northwest and from Liverpool. We want to be, our name wants to be up there in amongst them. Like.
Tom?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a catch-22 as well, because obviously we're so proud of where we're from and the musical heritage, but you kind of will always live in the shadow of it. So we always try and do something new to like kind of put our own stamp on the city's sound. But as you say, you're never going to catch the Beatles and stuff like that, so it's like you've got to just be your own person and hope it resonates with the city.
Well, you guys are proud of your background. We are very proud of you at Granada Reports, and we are watching your career very closely. Francis and Tom, really good to chat to you guys today, and congratulations on the new album.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a real treat. I really enjoyed doing that. Really nice lads.
Oh, yeah, they seem it.
Yeah, stick around. It's still to come.
You know you're
We'll have a special performance of Red Rum Club's new track, Wild, at the end of the programme.
And the weather on Sunday is looking somewhat wild, wet with gales through the Irish Sea, so make sure you make the most of Saturday. All the details coming up shortly.
OK, time for sport now, and it's a blockbuster start to the return of the Women's Super League. David's here, and Manchester City face the champions.
Yeah, it doesn't get tougher than this for City as a start. They kick off their season away at Chelsea this evening, but they're boosted by the signing of England midfielder Grace Clinton from neighbours Manchester United, while fellow Lioness Jess Park moved in the opposite direction before the transfer window shut last night. After more success in the Euros over the summer, well, there's plenty of excitement for the opening weekend of the Women's Super League, which also sees a Merseyside derby at Anfield. Chris Hall has all the build-up.
It's been a transformative summer, from England's Euros win to Olivia Smith leaving Liverpool to be the first ever £1 million woman. But as Anfield prepares to kick off with a showpiece Merseyside derby, it's Everton women's permanent move to Goodison Park, which is the WSL's most impactful change.
It just goes to show the commitment the club have to the women's side and what they expect for us and the standard that they hold, and that's what we want to play for. We want to play for a club who believe in us and want to empower women.
It's kind of special, yeah, to start the season with a derby at Anfield, but I think last season it's always been the game that got us into the winning mood, so hopefully that will be the same this season.
Hopefully we can get as many fans there as possible, and Everton have obviously had a strong summer in terms of recruitment, so we know it'll be a tough game, but we're really looking forward to it.
For Liverpool, it's a glamorous start for their new manager, who once led Manchester City to both the FA and League Cups.
Yeah, kind of a no-brainer for me. We know that it's a project. We have a really good opportunity here to push the needle in the right direction a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of time, probably a little bit of turbulence along the way.
Taylor's replacement at City is Swedish head coach Andre Jäglertz, who must restore success after 3 trophyless seasons.
Yeah, that's our main focus, I think, just getting something this year. And I think as a group, we were all in that same mindset. Really good manager, dead encouraging. And yeah, he's just really nice to be around. And I think he's encouraging the young players a lot as well. So yeah, he's a really good environment to be in.
Thanks to a third-placed finish last year, United's pre-season camp in Marbella won't be their last trip to Europe, with a Champions League qualifier against Brann on the horizon.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, I think. Obviously, I've had a little bit of experience playing the qualifying games 2 years ago. Hopefully, it's a better outcome this time, and really looking forward to it, to be honest.
We want to get our fans into Europe and then aim to try and win trophies. You can't wear the Manchester United crest and do anything else, so that's going to be our full focus. It's going to be difficult, but as I say, when has it not been difficult since I've been here?
For the first time, they're all full-time, and more clubs will join them when the WSL expands to 14 teams next year. And with the Euros effect set to boost crowds, the league which launches Lionesses will have a louder roar. Chris Hall, ITV News.
Now in Rugby League, there's a big double-header taking place in both the men's and women's Super League tonight as rivals St Helens and Wigan face each other. Well, Saints have the home advantage. It's a close battle between the top two in the women's game. It's 16-14 to Saints at half-time. And coming up after that one, it's the turn of the men.
It's two fixtures you look for when you first come out at the start of the year, and it's Wigan at home and it's Wigan away. It doesn't need much introduction. We all know what we're expecting. Hopefully we're going to put on a good performance for the fans.
Everyone's excited about it. Form and game plans go out the window. St Helens are an outstanding club with outstanding players, and yeah, it's certainly not to be missed.
Getting that winning feeling. FOW, sponsor of the Granada Sport Report.
Well, finally from me to tennis, where Liverpool's Neil Skupski will try and end a 100-year wait for a British pairing to win the men's doubles at the US Open. Well, he and his partner Joe Salisbury are through to the final at Flushing Meadow in New York after winning their semi-final in 3 sets. Yeah, and that final is tomorrow evening. Good luck to Neil and Joe. And the guys they face beat them in the French Open final, so revenge is in the air for them. Let's hope they can do it.
Oh, I've got everything crossed for them. David, thanks so much. Well, we're back with Red Rum Club in just a few minutes' time. But first, let's see what the weekend weather has in store for us. Here's Emma.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada Weather.
Hello there, very good evening to you, and I bet you're ready for the weekend. The first half of it shouldn't disappoint. It wasn't too bad today, and pretty pleasant conditions for wing foiling, fairly flat calm and winds not too strong. Saturday, a similar kind of day, but it is a weekend of two halves, rather mixed and turning wet and windy on Sunday with gales through the Irish Sea as well. The other thing I think you'll notice is that humidity levels and the feel of the days are going to change. So Saturday night into Sunday, feeling quite humid and also quite warm. You can see here, we start off with these yellowy colours, so temperatures around average. They hot up to the oranges on Sunday and then start to freshen up and drop off through Monday and Tuesday. And you will feel a change in the humidity Saturday night into Sunday, and then that fresher feel with slightly cooler temperatures on Monday and Tuesday. Rewinding then to the next few hours, any earlier cloud melts away, skies clear. There might just be one or two glancing showers pushing up from the south across the Isle of Man. Elsewhere, dry, temperatures in the mid-teens Celsius. Into tomorrow then, the sun's up about 6:30 in the morning, sets 10 to 8 in the evening. So Saturday, a lovely day, very, very pleasant for the start of the weekend. Like I say, you have to make the most of it because it's all downhill as we head into Sunday. But temperatures respond to the sunshine on Saturday, and we're a good 2 or 3 degrees above average for the time of year at 22, which is 72 Fahrenheit, 18 to 64 for the Isle of Man. Also later on in the day, starts to get breezy through the Irish Sea, so across the Isle of Man, and the winds increasing overnight into Sunday. A warm night, and by Sunday morning, 16 or 17 Celsius first thing in the morning, so a humid start, rain crossing from the west later, but a bit more fragmented than we previously thought it was going to be. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada Weather.
Emma, thank you. Now, as we promised, we are ending the week on Granada Report in style. This is Wild by Rum Club from their new album, Buck, which is out today, and a warning that their performance contains flashing images from the start.
Yeah, and there's no pressure here, lads, but both the K's and the lottery winners hit the top of the charts after appearing right here on this programme. So let's hope the Granada good luck charm strikes again. But from all of us here, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Just see, speak the wind, so say me. You know you're did your best to take me, focus for you, no sign to stop, baby. You know you're wild. You know no, you're wild than me. No, you're wilder than me. Wilder than me. Wilder than me. I'm happy.